Week 3 of 16 and a half on my journey to getting better at Splatoon, yeah! But for real though, hi. Welcome back to my weekly breakdown where I just talk about my journey this week over some games I played and give you all some of my free thinking thoughts on these past 7-ish days. Feel free to leave any questions, comments, or support, and without further ado, here we go. To quickly break down for those that are new to my channel, hi, my name is Aznbolt, but you can call me Bolt for short. This is basically my journey to getting better at Splatoon. Right now, my main goals are getting 2600 power in JPX rank, the Takaroka division, and just getting better competitive Splatoon. So we spend a day every day posting a short talking about what I did today to see how I can get better little by little. And yeah, that's basically all you need to know. And right now I'm about to talk about exactly what I did this week. So at the end, I'm going to be answering any comments, questions I wanted to talk about. So feel free to stick around till the end after I break down my week. But yeah, let's do this. So the first day, it was 15 out of 18, which was my introduction to OG and SSJ, which was obviously Opening Gambit, Ninja Squid, and Stealth Jump. I didn't really go too in depth of talking about why I chose the subs I did. I kind of wanted to save it for this video, but I think there are a couple comments that I'll post right here on the screen asking about basically why I chose the gear that I did. I think TLDR is just a personal preference kind of thing, but to go a little bit more in depth, I think that I knew from playing and testing, I really liked the feeling of having 4 subs of swim speed over my Ninja Squid. I didn't feel like when I wore a main of it or 3 subs or less, it would basically I'd feel very sluggish with the Ninja Squid. I definitely feel like every time I wanted to rotate or do something and I didn't have Opening Gambit and I just had the 3 subs of swim speed over the Ninja Squid, I felt a lot slower. And surprisingly, just adding the extra sub, just having that much AP of it, I think that for any Splatoon nerds like me, I'm pretty sure that totals to 12 AP specifically for the swim speed. Surprisingly versus only 10, it makes a huge difference to me. I still feel like I'm mobile enough. Obviously not as mobile as if I had Opening Gambit, but it still feels mobile enough where I'm like, even if I lost it, I'd be doing fine in my opinion. I'd still feel like I can still do the things I need to do as the roller and be fine with it. And then I wanted 4 subs of Quick Super Jump, which again, from my testing that I've played with the V-Roller, I feel like that's a minimum. I would like more, I think, in a perfect world, but because I want to keep sub resistance and I also want to keep ink resistance on it, I kind of had to sacrifice some Quick Super Jump. I think 4 is a very small minimum. I think 3 even is still kind of low, but I think that, I think 3 is like the absolute lowest, even then I feel like I'm losing a lot of time, but I feel like 4 is like a healthy amount where I'm like, I can still jump out as long as I react fast enough to it, but I just don't have as much leeway. But I think it's still gonna be fine. And then obviously, like I said, I had sub resistance and ink resistance. Just having sub resistance, so I'm not marked as long. I don't get comboed as easily by Slosher, Splat Bomb plus Slosher. It's a little bit harder for me to get comboed by like a lot of bomb combos in X rank, which I don't always see, but it's important just in case. And also not getting marked as long is also really helpful. So those are going to be pretty good. And then Opening Gambit, that's one thing I really wanted to talk about, I think, in this video, because a lot of my builds have Opening Gambit. I kind of wanted to go more in depth to explain why. I think there was a comment, I'll put it on the screen when I see it, but there was someone that was asking why specifically Opening Gambit. Like, it wouldn't make more sense to put either swim speed or comeback or something that will benefit me for the entire game. And to that I say yes. I would say that swim speed, like having just a main of swim speed or comeback, would benefit me for the majority of the game. But the reason I chose Opening Gambit, I actually saw, it was an idea I got from, again, I think I've talked about it last week, a top Japanese player in Japan that uses V-Roller, that goes by the name Edori, and they use Opening Gambit. One thing I noticed about their gameplay and that I've started to use in my own gameplay is that Opening Gambit really catches opponents off guard, when the sense where it's like, if you have... Not really a lot of people expect the roller to be there right at mid, right at the beginning. Some people do expect it, obviously. Some people have really good awareness when it comes to that. But there's a lot of the times where, thinking about it holistically, when the roller really needs paint on the ground, right? That's like one of the things that it thrives in. And if it has a lot of paint, it's really good at sharking. one of the things that one of the best times where you feel like there's not a lot of enemy paint is when they don't have a chance to paint yet, which is at the very beginning of the game, the first 30 to 30 seconds to a minute of the game. There's not a lot of paint on the ground. That gives you a chance to use your curling bomb to really get in there before they can get a lot of ground and be able to maneuver around. Like, that space in mid is open for literally anyone who gets there first, and you being able to take an angle at the first 30 seconds of the game trying to get an extra pick off because they don't have a lot of places to move is really, really, like, that could completely impact the game and turn it on its head right at the beginning of the game. So with opening Gambit and Ninja Squid for this example, I'm fast enough for, even with Ninja Squid, I still feel like I'm very fast with the opening Gambit and the 4 subs of swim speed, and I can get to mid very fast. I think you've seen, for those that have been following me, being able to get into mid really fast, especially for smaller maps like Haggle and Barnacle and even like Humpback. Like, those maps were really helpful for getting into mid fast and just getting like an extra pick. Like, there's no paint around the enemy besides the stuff behind them, and if you just catch them by surprise, you can vertical flick them or you can swim them really fast, and they don't really have many escape options because it's still really early in the game, so they didn't really think about painting. So that gives you a lot of momentum. Already, ideally, it's a 4v3 situation within the first 15 seconds of the game, and now we can push our advantage, and that's like huge. And then you can start building that momentum as the roller, and nothing is more scary than an aggro roller with a lot of momentum. And I think that's really what opening Gambit is. And again, you know, with the name opening Gambit, it's still a gamble. It's a gambit. It doesn't always work. As some people have seen my games, I could lose it within the first 30 seconds. I'll just miss out on a kill or I'll whiff something, and that just happens. But there's a lot of times where that's really helped me get into mid, and really helped me that even if I lost it after like a minute or two, it's like the damage is already done. We already have mid, we have control. As long as I'm holding it for the rest of the game, I don't really need that extra main ability, because I did my job as the roller to really create space early so that my teammates can hold the space with me. So that's really what opening Gambit is all about, and I think that's what is really important about having it. While I don't think it's always important, and maybe there'll be maps that opening Gambit really won't be that beneficial. I'm assuming like really big maps probably wouldn't benefit it as much, but for now I feel like for a lot of the maps, a lot of them, you can use opening Gambit in some form of fashion. And I'll talk about more builds besides Ninja Squid later, but I think it's just really helpful in that way, and that's why I use that instead of using like regular swim speed or comeback or something like that. So yeah, that's my in-depth answer to anyone that had questions on why opening Gambit specifically, and that's my mindset going into it. So I think I've touched on the first day enough, and then added a little bit of extra something. Hopefully that answers any comments, but if anyone has any other questions, I'm happy to answer for next week. So all right, moving on to day 16, identifying bad habits. Yeah, so this day was when I went back into X rank, I'm pretty sure, and it was another day where I noticed things that sorry, I'm trying to recall exactly what happened, because I think in general I did pretty well during it. I think I might have like lost some momentum at the end because we were getting into the higher powers, and then I was really seeing what bad habits I was making because my opponents were punishing them. One thing I really notice about myself that I do a lot is that I tunnel vision very easily, and I think I've talked about this once or twice or maybe even a few times. And as a roller player, it's going to be pretty common that I do that, where I'll just be looking forward a lot, or I'll like see an opponent and then I want to, like, my main objective will just be wanting to go for them, and I don't really think about any other options that I have because I'm like, oh, I see the opportunity to do it and I go for it. And it doesn't always work out because doing that will lead to a lot of the times me not being aware of other things that I can do, like painting the map, helping my teammates fight. Like, there'll be a lot of things that I miss, and that's something that I think comes with just slowing down. And that's something I talked about during day 16 at the end, where it's like when I play slower and horizontal flick and paint the map a little bit, not always holding forward and trying to get a splat, I think that actually really helps my team overall than just always trying to go for picks. I think there's a time and place for it to try it, or to try and go for picks, but I think painting the map and like changing up the tempo really with the roller is like a big thing for me that I need to keep in mind. It's like, even if I see an opponent that I can go for, unless it's like a guaranteed kill that I know I can just grab really quick and then go back to doing what I was doing, sometimes it's just not worth it. Sometimes it's more worth just to hold space and like slow it down, wait for my teammates to push up with me. And I think that'll just come with playing the game more and keeping that in mind as I keep playing. But that definitely, I think, is something that kept me from going to like 2500 power. Or 2,500. You know, it's a little side tangent. The captions, whenever I try to doing captions in CapCut, when I can't say 2,500 power, it always just says 25 power, X power. I can never have the 2 zeros. It's like the auto captions are like the zeros, and I'd have to manually do it if I want to do it. But that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, I'm derailing a little bit, but yeah, no, I think it's really important to just remember to change up the tempo if needed. I don't always have to like feel like I need to be pushing up really hard unless it's like a wipe or something. I just have to be like, okay, like, can I take an angle? Like, things to ask myself is like, when I'm instead of holding forward and going right through mid, be like, can I take an angle? Can I slow down and paint for a little bit before I push up? Are my teammates even pushed up? Like, asking those questions before I push up probably will save me from like accidentally feeding the other team. And that's just something I have to keep telling myself as I play more, and I think I'll get better at it. And I do see some improvement later in the week, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, that day was just me being like, yeah, I still have some stuff I need to work on. And I can tell that there's some stuff that I can catch. I'm starting to slowly catch myself making these mistakes, and I want to keep identifying them so I can keep remembering to try to change them. But yeah, that one's that for that one. Okay, and then day 17 was the end of the weekend when I was working on my opening Gambit Ninja Squid stealth jump gear. Oh, not gonna lie, I think I woke up and like the first thing I thought of was, I was like, okay, I need to finish this gear build now. Like, I was like, I really want to finish this because I was working so much on it when it came to like, I finished the earring the other day, but then I didn't finish the shirt or the shoes, and I was like, I really want to finish this. I'm like so close to doing it. And then I used the gear seat checker, which is in the description, I'm pretty sure, of one of my shorts. If I remember, all right, Aznbolt, make sure you put the lean gear seat checker link in the description. I should actually, Aznbolt, link not only the gear seat checker link, but also the video tutorial on how to do it. And that'll probably help people like understand what I'm talking about when I get that, so you can get the gear that you want. But yeah, I was working on that Sunday. I had a little bit of time, so I had 2 streams planned. I was planning to do Big Run, and I was planning to do a Pokemon stream. And then I ended up waking up before them, being like, I want to finish this gear. And I worked more on the gear, and I think I got the shoes done during that, which was really good. No, other way around. I got the shirt done, but I didn't finish the shoes. And I was like, no, I was so close to finishing up the shoes. So I was like, okay, I guess I have to keep doing Big Run because I had it planned, and I, had the Pokemon stream planned, so I just kept moving forward. But then after the Pokemon stream, I had some time with the bucket, and I hopped on Open, and Acorn had to be there too. Shout outs to Acorn, my goat, by the way, if you're watching this. You're very epic. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate everyone's support, of course, but I just want to let Acorn know, like in the Pokemon stream, like, you were like one of the few people that are commenting on, and I just want to let you know I appreciate you a lot, bro. You're my goat. But sorry, I'm going off again. I'm going on tangent. But yeah, he was there, and we ended up playing some open zones, and I ended up finishing my gear, and we had some really good games too, and I felt really good with the roller. So that was really cool. I was happy about that, and we finished it. It was pretty awesome. So I finally finished the gear, and I felt really good. It's just like seeing the full gear on display and knowing that I finally have enough subs to like actually try it out. I was like, I just can't wait to try this. It's going to be so exciting. But unfortunately, leading into the next day, I had a lot to do that day, so I couldn't even really practice using the gear. But what I did have time to do was I had time to start my next gear. And by starting it, I mean putting it in my freshest gear preset builds, and it was the OG QRSJ, which stood for Opening Gambit, Quick Respawn, and Stealth Jump. The same thing with Ninja Squid, where opening Gambit spiel, where it's just getting there as fast as possible. But this gear is specifically entailed for like for me just holding forward a lot and not needing like as much swim speed. I have 4 subs still, but now instead I have opening Gambit, so I'm gonna be a lot faster getting into mid, but I'm gonna be taking a lot more fights. I think this is a really good gear build for like where I'm warming up my V-roller, or like when I'm like fighting a lot more than usual, or if I'm the main fighter and I don't really need the Ninja Squid. I'm probably gonna be using that a lot for those kinds of things, like maybe in comp more than anything, but it's gonna be helpful, I think. It plays very fast and it plays very aggressively, so I think it has its place. Versus Ninja Squid, where it's like a lot more sharky. I'm kind of waiting for my opportunity and playing a lot slower. Opening Gambit really is feeding into the whole idea of like, oh, it's like no thoughts head empty, just go for splats. Because I know with QR, if I get splatted, it's not a big deal because I can come back fast with QR. I think I think it may be a very niche thing, and I'm thinking of even like making a comeback QR build instead of opening Gambit, since I'm going to be fighting a lot more, and I think comeback might be more, but I feel like still with opening Gambit, it's still important to like be able to get to mid as fast as possible. So it's going to take some play testing, and we're going to see how I like it. But yeah, it's a very interesting one, so I'm excited to see how that one goes. Yeah. One thing I actually wanted to talk about with just like a little mini thing that I didn't really get to talk about in my shorts is that I have the hopefully you see it on the screen, but I have the bandana as my opening Gambit swim speed gear. I kind of want to put the squash headband back on because I miss my squash headband. It currently has comeback and some like other like subs on it. I kind of want to bring it back because I really miss using it, because it's kind of like my branding. As you can see, like my still kind of has the squash headband on. I haven't really used the squash headband in a while. Kind of want to use it again, but yeah, I think I'll do that one again with chunks. I have no more chunks left, y'all. I'm broke when it comes to chunks because I've been using it on the Ninja Squid thing. I used it on my swim speed one. I used it on my QR one, which I'll get into the swim speed one soon. But I'm broke when it comes to chunks. So if anyone wants to play Salmon Run with me, hit me up. I need some more chunks for real, for real. Yeah, but I digress. That's day 18. Day 19. Yeah, this is when I actually went into Sendou.ink. I'll also post Sendou.ink in the description. I'm sorry, Editor Bolt, I'm asking you to post a lot of things in the description, but I appreciate you, gang. Hope you're not too tired. But JK. What's it called? Yeah, I went into Sendou.ink that day, and I wanted to kind of like go over why I went into the build of QR, and I explained it pretty decently in there, and I explained why I picked opening Gambit today, and then I didn't really explain that in the short. But yeah, but it's pretty good. I think I use Sendou.ink a lot because it's very helpful to keep me organized and knowing what I want from there. It shows all of the types of gear that you can put on there. It shows all of the stats. It shows exactly what you're getting out of the build, and I think that's really helpful for me personally, just to know what, like, if it's like the most optimal build for me. It's very helpful in that sense, and yeah, I wanted to show that out to anyone that didn't know about Sendou.ink or anything like that, and I wanted to explain more of my build since I know people sometimes ask about it. So yeah, that one was pretty good. Day 20 was OG SSSJ. This is a build that I've been really enjoying a lot. This one was the one where I had a pure swim speed, opening Gambit, and stealth jump. I feel so fast with this weapon. Specifically Scorch Gorge Tower. I've been playing a lot of Scorch Gorge with this build, and it feels like such a fun time because there's a spot, I think you'll see it on my short, but there's a spot where, like, if you have a decent wipe, your swim speed allows you to rotate so fast, and I had cooler too. My gosh, this was like, I just felt like I was on an energy drink, like, in the game. Like, I was like so fast, and I'm able to rotate forward and get to their top right so fast because of my swim speed and opening Gambit and cooler. It just felt so good to be able to get there. I think that's what that build specifically is really good for, is for big maps like Scorch, Mincemeat, what's another big map? I guess maybe Urchin, kind of. But But yeah, it's really good for those ones where you need to rotate really fast with the roller, because with Ninja Squid, sometimes it feels like you're a step behind being able to rotate where you want to rotate. You'll be like, I'll like try to rotate, and then I'm like, they're already at the place I wanted to go to, so I can't really just kind of walk up there unless they weren't aware of me. But with Swim Speed, I'm already there because I'm fast, and it's really nice. So it's a really good build, in my opinion. I think it's going to be really helpful. I tried this in comp, and I'm going to talk about more when I get to that day, but it was really helpful, I think. It was really good. I'm really excited to use it more and do some more experimentation with maps with this. So, yeah. Okay, perfect. This is the mini self-reflection day. The day before that, I was planning to do SOS with my team, and we had like the full squad going on, but turns out they didn't have SOS that week, so I was like sad, but you know, it is what it is. But I was able to, I think I had some time before the original allotted time to play some X rank, and it happened to be tower, which I was really happy about, so I got some practice in for that, which is really great. And I actually got the 25-27 power. Like, what? That was crazy. I was so happy about that. I got a lot done that day, and I felt really good. And the one thing I was like talking about was I was a lot more confident with myself, and I felt like I was a lot more calmer. Like, there were a lot of situations like on defense or like on other things where I just felt like an old me would have been a little bit like, oh, I was like, oh gosh, there's so much going on, oh no, oh gosh, and I was like stressing out. But I was like very calm, and I felt really proud of myself for that, because even when I used to do X rank back in the day, I didn't really work on that a lot, or I didn't really like ever get over like being stressed out about things. And even when I do stress about things, like, it's just like I'm not like panicking is, I think, a really good word, because that X rank session, I didn't feel like I was panicking as much. I was definitely stressed out a couple of times on defense, but like I wasn't panicking. I was just playing my game and knowing exactly what I needed to do. And like I said, I think that comes with the confidence of playing more and like really understanding why I'm losing or what I need to do better, and just really focusing on my game. And I felt really good. And then instead of a tourney, we ended up doing a scrim, playing with like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was pretty decent players. It was like, I think they're like, if I was to guess, they're like Div 3-ish or something like that. Maybe even better. I'm not sure. But they were very good, and they had double hammer. And it was really tough for me because I was like, as a roller player with bubbler, while I kind of defended against the hammer throws, every time I popped a bubble, like, I would get shredded immediately with the rush mode. So how I like to place bubble with roller, especially in solo queue, was just like I would just kind of pop it like in front of them, just enough where they have to shoot at the bubble or they have to come to me, and then I'd easily splat them. But with hammer, they can kind of just run through, and I can't do anything about the hammer. I'm just kind of, you know, I'm kind of screwed at that point. But yeah, it was pretty. It was tough because I was like, dang, I literally have been practicing roller for the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, now I'm getting actually countered by it. But honestly, looking back at some of the footage, like some of the VODs and like the stuff like that, I think that there was a lot of times where I definitely just could have used roller. There was only 2 things I feel like I could have tweaked differently, and that's placing my bubble for my teammates, because instead of placing them aggressively, placing them more defensively so my teammates could move up, and like, because I felt like my bucket player Uwami and Doko, my H3 teammate, were really good at like fighting them, and I feel like I had decent fights against them. It's just that a lot of the times I'd just kind of run at them and then bubble aggressively, and then the hammers would take my bubble out. When instead I could just be bubbling for Uwami, Doko, and Yuki, my teammates, and then have their bubble be able to pressure them from a distance, and then I can use my speed or like my cooler or what have you to take better angles and just like be a little bit better about that instead of just like trying to run forward like I usually do in X rank and doing that. So I think that's the one thing I didn't really get to mention in my short, is that I feel like there's a clear difference in playing roller when playing X rank versus playing in like an actual like scrim or like tournament or like VC setting. Like when it's like an organized competitive game, I think you have to play roller a little bit differently, and that's something I found out that day more than anything. I found that out last time I played a tourney, but I think that's a lot more apparent during the scrim now that I played with my full team. I need to be a lot more more different when it comes to playing roller. I can't just kind of walk up and get them by surprise. I kind of have to take angles and play a lot more with my teammates and communicate through VC a little bit better. And that's something I probably want to work on for next week when we do that. But that, I guess, that'll be for next week for me to decide. But yeah, I learned a lot that day, and overall, I think I was really proud of myself with how I did, and I felt like I'm really starting to see her break through with my X-rank gameplay at the very least, and starting to understand a little bit more on how to play in competitive with roller. So yeah, that was that. That was really good. And I think, oh, that was it for the week. Awesome. So I guess it's time to move on to my last segment before I end things, is answering any questions that I screenshotted during this week. I actually took a moment to, like, every time I saw a comment that I was able to answer, I wanted to screenshot it and send it and then answer it in this video. So anyone that had a comment or question, believe me, if I didn't answer it, I'm answering it right now. And if I missed it, please remind me. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to answer it again. Let's see here. Okay, let's start with this one from Silver, my goat Silver, by the way. Bro has been that's another guy that's been supporting me throughout these streams and throughout these, like, shorts. I really appreciate you, Silver. You are genuinely a blessing for this series and in my Splatoon life and in my life in general. So I really appreciate you, Silver. Anyways, he said, the dream is on, dude. Keep it up. Trying to get S+50 this season. Oh, nice. So my question is, what maps is roller good on, and what should I avoid doing? Okay, and he's trying to pick it up so anything would help. All right, I got you, Silver. So first of all, I wish you luck with S+50. I have gotten S+50 before in the past, and really S+50 is just kind of a matter of, like, being persistent with your matches. You don't have to win all of them, but as long as you're winning a majority of them, I think you'll be fine. And your question is, what maps are roller good on? What should I avoid doing? So to my answer to that, the reason I wanted to answer this in the video and I couldn't just answer it in the comment was because I think it's a complicated answer, because I don't have, like, I don't have a short answer for you. Really, my answer for you is it really depends on how you play roller. I assume you've been watching me play roller and how I play it, and re-roller can work on virtually any map depending on how you play. If you're more of the sharking type, then I'd say that smaller maps will benefit you more, like Flounder, what's it called? Barnacle, Humpback. Like, smaller maps like that probably would benefit you more. But if you're someone that's really confident about their mechanics and knows, like, how to work a roller, and you're confident with it, I'd say that, like, virtually any map really works best for you. And what should you avoid doing? I'd say, if you've seen me, just one of the things is don't get too tunneled. I'm saying that more of just an extension of myself. Just be very careful when it comes to that. I know, like, getting, like, a roller's biggest job is to, like, get picks and, like, make sure that they're really on the front lines, but just always be aware, like, be more aware of just your positioning and being like, what fights can I take to greatestly benefit, is greatestly even a word, anyways, to best benefit the team. So, like, if you can, try to take fights with your team, being aware of who's on the map, what teammates are on the map, where the enemies are on the map, can I take a flank, just, like, being smart with your roller. I think that's what separates, like, the good rollers from the great rollers, is just their positioning and decision making. So I think just avoid trying to hold forward, avoid trying to be in open spaces. If you're gonna shark, don't shark for too long. Shark with a purpose, and just avoid like doing what the usual rollers, like what, like, rollers that, like, don't really play roller often do, and just kind of, like, hold forward all the time and not really think about where they're going. Just be a little smart about your stuff. That's my biggest it's my biggest advice for you, and I wish you the best of luck on S+50, and I hope this helps your question. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to help answer it. But yeah. What is this? Wedge Antilles 1932 asked me, real question, why Splatoon? So I think I might have answered this on my first week. Splatoon for me is quite the comfort game. It has been, I've played this game since, like, 2015, I think, since, like, the game first launched. I got it as a birthday gift from a friend. I'm the type of person, if anyone hasn't been able to tell you, I'm the type of person that when I get on a game, I get very invested in it. I don't really play other games, and when I do, I'm not very good at them, and nor do I take them very seriously. But when there's a game that I really like, I really stick to it, and I exclusively play that game. And for the longest time, I think before that, Smash was my game of choice when I was like really young in 2015. I played that a lot. And my friend happened to get me Splatoon 1 for my birthday on the Wii U. And I was like, oh, this is very nice. I was like, I guess I'll give it a try and see. I originally, my intention was just like, I'm just going to pick it up and just, you know, play it a little bit and then be able to tell my friend, yeah, I tried playing this game. It was pretty fun, just to say I did it. But to my surprise, I played it for a little bit and I fell in love with the game instantly. I don't know exactly what the moment was that I really loved it, but I think it was just like, the colors, the way that it feels like moving around, the way that like feeling like there's like so many layers to touch on, just how the game felt to play overall. There was just something about this game that I've never felt with any other game I played. And I think at the time I played other shooter games like Call of Duty and like things like Call of Duty. I played Smash. I played a lot of Nintendo games. I played a couple shooter games. And like they're just all right. Like I understand why people like them, but I knew it wasn't for me. But Splatoon was just very different. I just had a different sensation when playing it, and then it led me to wanting to learn more about it. I looked up some videos on YouTube. I played the game more. I started taking rank seriously, and there was this one app. Shoutouts to anyone that remembers the app called Splatoon Amino, and I even like looked that up to just see what people were talking about. It was basically like Reddit for Splatoon, and I was like digging deep into that, and then I started seeing this thing about competitive Splatoon, and it was like, hey, if you want to try doing this thing on competitive Splatoon, hit me up in the DMs for Splatoon Amino. And then I talked to this person about it, and then they're like, do you have Discord? And I'm like, I don't know what that is at the time. And then I got Discord, and then I started getting more into competitive Splatoon and meeting more people through Discord, and the rest is history. So basically, why Splatoon? It's just my game. I feel like it feels like I find it very difficult to put as much time, as much passion and effort into any other game at this point, because I love it so much. It's given me so much. I've met so many good friends through it. I've met great people. I've enjoyed playing the game. It's a game I play whether I'm tired, whether I'm excited, whether I want to hang out with friends. It's just a game that it just feels so natural to me to want to play. Like even when I get burned out from the game, there's still times where I just kind of want to pick it up just to mess around. It really is a comfort game, and I think that's ultimately why I couldn't do it with any other game, I feel like. And if I did, it's just not to the same degree as I do with Splatoon. I just love this game a lot, and I want to keep playing it and spreading the vibes of just my love for Splatoon with everyone else, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that also find a lot of comfort in this game, and I just want to feel that comfort with them and show like it's just such a good game, man. I just keep saying like it's a good game, but it really is. As much as it has its flaws, I just love it so much. It just has given me so much more than it's taken from me, and I can't appreciate it and say enough about it, of how great it was and how much it did for me. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And then I guess I kind of answered this already on TikTok. Nihilego V3, how long have you been playing? I've been playing this game since I think 2015, if I'm not mistaken. I started playing competitively I think around 2016, 2017. But 2015 is when I got it, because I got it as a birthday gift. I haven't been playing it since. I didn't play a lot of Splatoon 2 besides like X rank every once in a while. But Splatoon 1 I put a lot of hours in competitively, and Splatoon 3 I've put a lot of hours in. I've been playing a while. So I've been playing for, at this point, almost 10 years. Oh, great heavens. So I've been playing pretty long, to answer your question, Nihilego. But yeah. Okay, and see if there's any other comments I've been missing. I think that might actually be it, low-key. Let me double check the other weeks to make sure I didn't miss anything. And if I did miss your comment, please let me know. I will be sure to answer it next week, I promise you. Yeah, I think that's actually it for the questions. Yeah, sweet. Good stuff. I forgot to remind y'all to make sure you stay hydrated and take care of yourself. You are very important, and your body is very important as well, and it requires nutrients and hydration for it to function at its maximum capacity. So make sure you drink some water, eat some food. If you're just kind of here to vibe, I advise you to take a swig. I'm going to take one with you, just right here. Yeah, good stuff. It's been a good week today. Overall, I feel like I'm starting to see a breakthrough. I know it's only been 3 weeks at this point, and I guess it's almost been a month at this point. That's awesome, like about a month, and I feel like I still have a lot to learn. But at the same time, I feel like I still am making a lot of progress, and I feel like a lot different than I did 3 weeks ago. And I'm very proud of myself for that, and I hope to keep improving and keep getting better. And I hope y'all are enjoying the ride as well. I hope that this has been helpful to at least one of you. And if not, I'm just happy to know that it's helpful to myself. I have actually gotten a couple of comments and a couple of people chatting in the stream saying how much this has really inspired them, or like really helpful for them, and it genuinely means a lot to me. Like, actually, like I just want to help, and if I can do that just by playing the game I love and trying to improve myself, like if I do nothing else in this life, I'm just very happy I at least got to help people by playing the funny Squid game, being myself. I don't know. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. I didn't mean to end it on such a like deeply rooted note, but I'm very appreciative of all of you, and thank you so much for your support these past 3 weeks, and I can't wait to keep pushing and keep doing stuff. If you saw this on if you see this on Blue Sky, I'd really appreciate it if you took the time to follow, and I'm gonna try to keep doing my thing. If you're here on YouTube, obviously watching it, I'd feel free to drop a like, a comment, or a subscribe if you'd like to just follow me on my journey and like have any questions for me and just want to support me in any kind of way. Taking the time for that is always very much appreciated, so thank you very much. And then yeah, on TikTok, I'm also on TikTok, so please follow me there if you'd like to also be involved in that journey as well. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you all so much again for the support, and remember, you are very amazing, and you are going to do awesome things, and I hope that I can help you keep going with your endeavors, and that it's nothing but successful. Thank you all so much for watching, and hope you have a wonderful day. See ya!